Hello everyone and welcome to the fourth and final Christmas 2023 Sneaky Peeky from GWV. So here we go again. It's time to bring you the final sneak peek for Christmas 2023 because next week, Wednesday, 1st of November, we will begin the official and formal Christmas countdown. So, you know, instead of doing sneaky peekers, we're going to be doing regular Christmas countdown videos, and they'll be running right way from the 1st of November all the way up to basically Christmas. So, it's on the way. The countdown's about to get underway, but I've got one more Christmas sneak peek to show you before the countdown begins next week. I should get on with the fourth and final Christmas 2023 sneak peeking in a moment. Just to say that first video of today was our 6 AM UK weather forecast. We've also had a look at the GWV season model for the next 3 months, November to January, and been live streaming like literally a minute ago. We ended the live stream and I enabled this the sneaky peeky video. So wow, if you have not yet seen our 10 to 14 day live, then please check that back on demand and you can watch it on catch up from now onwards. And thank you so much everybody for doing that. Thank you so much Richard for the sneaky peeky gift. Thank you so much to Norman Baker. Got Psycho here in the sneaky peeky gift. So I don't know whether that's going to be an omen for Christmas or not, whether we're going to have blood on the carpet here in the towers if the gold Christmas you will want goes down the tubes. I don't know. But anyway, this will be the final time that you see the Christmas sneaky peeky gift, because I've got you know, proper festive gifts to show you when we begin the Christmas countdown next week. But thank you so much, Richard, for the sneaky peeky gift and for giving us a laugh with Psycho. Norman Bates. It was an odd character, wasn't it? It was an odd character. Oh, no. Right, anyway, let's move over to Metro and have a look then. So same ideas from the previous 3 sneaky peekers. We're going to be going through the midnight run, the 6Z run, the 12Z run, and also the 18Z run with the CFS. It's run 4 times a day. We'll go through all 4 of them starting around 20th of December and running on into the beginning of the new year. When we do Christmas countdown, we will focus on one model run only, and we'll start, you know, early December, go all the way to the middle of January there with that one model run, and that'll be the same run that we do all the time, so you can make direct comparisons, etc, etc, etc. So it gets much more, you know, not serious, because we're still having a laugh, especially in the early part of Christmas countdown, but it all gets a lot more professional, let's say. Gav gets professional. There's a first time for everything. Gav gets professional where we begin the Christmas countdown. Anyway, let's start off with a midnight run of the CFS starting on the 20th of December. So let's see what this one is showing. Deep area of low pressure is in the Atlantic, so it's not very unsettled, and zone of transient ridge trying to build up from the south and from the southwest as well. Right, so let's run through up towards Christmas. So it looks very unsettled, rather wet and windy here in the pre-Christmas period, with low pressure in the ascendancy. We get to Christmas Eve, we're looking like that with this midnight CFS run. So mild and rather unsettled. So there's like a little ridge building here ahead of the next area of low pressure. So probably not too bad Christmas Eve with sunny spells but and whatnot, but outbreaks of rain and a push of southwest winds are waiting in the wings there. And we go through the Christmas Day, therefore we have a very mild Christmas Day with this CFS run dragging up the air from the Azores, so that will be lift the temperatures into double digits, possibly even into teens Celsius. Is also very unsettled though. There's weather fronts pushing across the country, so would be a mild, dull, wet and windy Christmas Day. Perhaps turning a bit colder behind the cold front in the far northwest of Scotland. A few showers there turning wintry and whatnot, but basically that is a mild, wet and windy Christmas Day. And the mild weather carries on into Boxing Day as well. A ridge builds into the south, probably means the mostly dry Boxing Day there, but further north and west still looking rather wet and windy with this area of low pressure heading in from afternoon. So all 3 days, Christmas Eve, Christmas Day, Boxing Day excuse me, are looking mild, wet, windy on this CFS midnight run to start off. Turns stormy just after Christmas, with that area of low pressure being gales or severe gales across the country, along with bouts of no doubt very heavy rain as well. So stormy just after Christmas there on the GFS midnight run. There we go, cold and showery. Shower could turn wintry into the north, but it all looks very westerly, very zonal, flat as a pancake, really, all the way up towards the New Year. Now, this is New Year's Eve. Looks like we're beginning to back into the northwest a little bit. So possibly hinting at a little bit of a cold snap here, New Year's Eve to New Year's Day. I think it will only be transient. There's no northern blocking to support it, but it does turn colder briefly New Year's Eve to New Year's Day, with wintry showers maybe into the north and to the northeast as well. And then low pressure back in from off Atlantic through the opening days of January, bringing more wet and windy weather in with it. That low pressure is sinking southwards. That's starting to introduce something colder from the north then into the early part of January, beginning to go cold. If this area of low pressure would be a mix of rain and sleet and snow across the coast. Let's just run on a little bit further, and then we'll have a look up the CFS 6 then. So, yeah, brief cold snap again around 4th, 5th of January. More low pressure back in from off Atlantic. That one also yielding cold weather. So into the new year, it does turn colder actually. Colder and more wintry potential into the new year, with both northerly, northeasterly shots, etc., etc., etc. And then high pressure takes over, turning things mostly dry, cold and frosty for the second week of January. Right, that's that one done. Let's see how. So that was a mild Christmas, but colder into the new year. Let's see how the the CFS, I should say, 6Z is comparing for this pool for final sneaky peeky. So again, starting on the 20th of January or 20th of December, with high pressure to the south, low pressure to the northwest, winds again coming in from a mild southwesterly type direction. Let's run on then up towards Christmas, see what happens. So high pressure more influential here with this 6Z run. Now, this is a drier run up to Christmas Eve, with a ridge of high pressure through the country. That's probably bringing a lot of dry weather. Could be some quite chilly nights, and with that maybe some frost and fog, etc., etc. It's not a particularly cold position for the high pressure. It's actually built up from the south, but because it's centred towards the country, I suspect that could deliver some quite cold frosty weather. That looks more that looks better actually, more generally for frost as we get through the Christmas Day. So Christmas Eve might be dulled down. Christmas Day though, with that strong area of high pressure, 1035 millibars over the country, I suspect that would be yielding some quite cold nights with overnight frost and fog. So a much more seasonal looking Christmas on this CFS 6Z run compared to midnight run. Albeit, you know, not particularly cold, no snow or anything like that, but a more seasonal feel with some frost and fog for Christmas Day. And that carries on into Boxing Day as well. The high pressure begins to slip towards Germany, but still bring in the air of wind from off the continent. I suspect, again, that could deliver some overnight frost, fog, a little bit of a gruesome truce there for Christmas Day and for Boxing Day as well. Beyond that, the high pressure just sits over the top of the country as we get to after Christmas. So again, all looking very anti-cyclonic, mostly dry, probably cold and frosty under that area of high pressure with overnight frost. Now, I'm going to take the high pressure anywhere interesting for New Year. So we're running up towards New Year's Eve. High pressure still sort of sitting around the country again, probably bringing a lot of dry, quiet weather, maybe frost and fog. You can go a bit milder around the top of the high into Scotland. Oh, milder there with winds off the Atlantic for New Year, but probably still quite cold and frosty further south. Now let's get into early January, see what's going to happen. So the high pressure is declining, but we are raising heights towards Greenland and Iceland actually into the new year as colder air starts digging into the north from the north and northeast. That's also a little bit poised to deliver something much colder into early January. Let's see if that comes off. So yeah, by the 4th, 5th of January, we are opening the door to those northeast winds. It's going to be much colder in all areas with snow showers probably into the north and to the northeast as well. So after that dry, cold, frosty Christmas, New Year turns much colder and wintry with cold air sitting to our north and east, and probably snow showers into the northern and east areas there through the first week or so of January. What happens beyond that? Let's have a look. So then we start setting up a very interesting pattern as really cold air starts to dig in from the north, with low pressure trying to come up from the south. That's a battleground UK scenario, and will probably produce a lot of snow there, actually, from that kind of situation. So eventually the low pressure pushes north, takes some milder air with it, so we do thaw things out. But for the second week of January, looking really cold, snowy and whatnot. So that gets very interesting, actually, that run. Right, that's the 6th episode. If you're enjoying this fourth and final Christmas sneak peek, please can you like, share and subscribe. Thank you so much, everybody, for doing that. Why not drop a comment and say what you think about this and all of our videos, and don't forget to tell your friends about Gareth's Weathers. You can also subscribe together and watch future weather content. We thank you so much, everybody, for doing that for us. Okay, this is the CFS 12Z run. Again, we're starting around the 20th of December. Low pressure to the north of Scotland. That's bringing unsettled weather in with it. Let's see what happens after that. So we're towards Christmas. Again, low pressure digging in from off the Atlantic here on the eve of Christmas Eve. That's bringing very unsettled weather with it. Wet, windy, generally quite mild. Christmas Eve starts to dig back low pressure southwards. Heights are rising towards Scandinavia, you'll notice, so we are quite close to beginning to pull in something colder from the east. However, as it is, we're cyclonic, probably relatively mild and wet with that area of low pressure for Christmas Eve. What about Christmas Day? Let's see. So the first low moves way to the east, but more low pressure is waiting in the wings. So that's probably just rather showery for Christmas Day. Again, the air is generally coming in from the Atlantic, so quite mild. We are very close to pulling in cold easterlies just to our north and northeast, but these areas of low pressure fending off any attempt at cold weather. That's Boxing Day, looking very unsettled for Boxing Day. Heavy rain sweeping across the country, probably quite mild with those southwesterly winds. And then beyond that, between Christmas and the New Year, on this CFS 12Z run, again we keep it very cyclonic. Low pressure is in control all the way up to the end of the year, really. But low pressure starts sinking southwards around New Year's Eve. High pressure begins to build to the northwest and over Scandinavia. Winds begin to turn into the east. I think most of the cold air sitting to the east, but it would certainly be colder with those easterly winds, and they might produce some wintry showers in southern and eastern parts of the country. So brief little colder interlude there. Again, around the New Year. That's shown up on quite a few of these CFS runs, isn't it? A little colder interlude around the New Year period into the first days of January. And then we run out beyond that, and we find high pressure taking over into the east of the country. So mostly dry, but anticyclonic cold and frosty there as we're running up towards the middle part of January. Strong anticyclonic sort of scenario there with that one. Excuse me. And then finally we've got the CFS 18Z, aka the pub run. Just have a quick look at this one and then we're done. So again, we're starting on the 20th of December. Low pressure bringing wet and windy weather in from off the Atlantic Ocean. Before Christmas, we get to the eve of Christmas Eve. Higher pressure starting to build over to the west of the country, so it begins to turn a little bit cooler for Christmas Eve. That is Christmas Eve, actually under a ridge of high pressure, so mostly dry, but will be quite a lot of cold, frosty weather probably with that. So that will be a seasonable Christmas, actually, with that area of high pressure. That's Christmas Day. High pressure gets over to the east of the country. It is quite a cool ridge, so I expect there will be frost early and late on Christmas Day. Begin to go milder though in the west, with these southerly winds probably bring cloud and outbreaks of rain into the far west. And if we get through the Boxing Day, then the high pressure slips away to the east. Low pressure of the Atlantic combines with that ridge to put up a southerly. So after a cool Christmas Day and after cool Christmas Day, Boxing Day turns milder, but also probably wetter and windier. Let's run into the New Year. So between Christmas and New Year turns unsettled by a wet and windy, and then into the New Year period itself. We just keep low pressure coming. So it stays generally quite mild with outbreaks of rain at times at the end of December and into early January as well. So this is probably the worst of the four, actually. With no really cold weather, other than like a couple of frosts over Christmas, but really that's mild right way into the first week of January. And then beyond that, actually looks pretty well. Although we are attempting to build higher pressure up over Scandinavia there into the second week of January. So it's having a go, pulling some cold air in from the east, but the Atlantic sort of overrides that. So that's not great. You know, that's not a very good one to end with. But never mind. That's how the CFS is looking for this fourth and final Sneaky Peeky. So there you go, everybody. That is your 4 Christmas 2023 Sneaky Peekies done and dusted. I hope you've enjoyed them. I hope it's been a bit of fun and we've had a few laughs. Next week, on Wednesday the 1st of November, we are going to begin the Christmas Countdown. And I reckon as we are beginning the Christmas Countdown, we'll premiere that one. How does that sound? So we'll have a little premiere next Wednesday for the first installment of Christmas Countdown. The rest of them will just be like regular video uploads, but we'll premiere the first one, I think. And so, again, get your glad rags ready. I'll see you on the red carpet next Wednesday for the premiere of the first installment of the GWV Links Christmas Countdown. Between now and then, I'll have all the detail of when the premiere is going to be, you know, timings. That will definitely be on Wednesday the 3rd, but I'll let everybody know what time that's going to be. And also, we might do a poll to see whether we're going to look at the Big Night 6Z, 12Z or 18Z CFS run as well. We normally look at the 12Z, but we might do something a little bit different this year. We shall see. So watch your space, watch the community page of that for all of the announcements. Thank you so much to Richard for an amazing Christmas Sneaky Peeky gift, and you are going to see Christmas Countdown gift from next week as well, and that's going to be, you know, very, very festive, and it will look very picturesque. Right, so for the 4th and final GWV Christmas 2023 Sneaky Peeky, that's all for now, and thanks for watching. Bye for now.